Hello, Lenawee County. My name is Brian Vish, and here's what's happening this week in Lenawee.
Accurate, dependable, and late-breaking. This is local and state news on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
The Adrian City Market is under new leadership. City officials are welcoming Cody McFate as the new farmers market manager. McFate brings a background in agriculture and food systems, serving as both a master gardener and master food preserver while also co-owning Firstborn Farms with her family. She also brings experience in community relations and marketing, which city officials say will help strengthen the market's connection with local vendors and residents. McFate says her goal is to grow the Adrian City Market into a leading destination for local commerce and education while supporting area farmers and artisans. A spring wine event is coming to downtown Blissfield next month. The Downtown Wine Around is scheduled for Friday, April 10th from 6 to 9 p.m. Participants will receive 12 wine pours for $35 in advance or $40 at the door. Registration takes place at That One Place, located at 121 South Lane Street in Blissfield. Tickets are available on Eventbrite and at the Blissfield Village office. Organizers say the event will feature local businesses and sponsors throughout the downtown area. Volunteers are invited to help plant trees at Riverside Park on Saturday, May 16th, with a focus on improving the city's environment. The effort is a partnership between Relief Michigan, the City of Adrian, the River Raisin Watershed Council, and the U.S. Forest Service, with plans to plant 35 trees in the park. Organizers say the project targets an area identified as a priority for stormwater management following an urban tree canopy assessment. The new trees are expected to help reduce runoff, intercept rainfall, and replace trees lost to invasive species and storms. Relief Michigan staff will be on site to guide volunteers through the planting process. Participants are asked to wear closed-toed shoes, bring tools such as shovels, rakes, and gloves if available. The event will take place rain or shine, and no prior experience is required. Families are welcome. Those interested can RSVP online or contact the City of Adrian for more information. The event runs from 8:45 to 12 noon on Saturday, May 16th at Riverside Park in Adrian. A downtown redevelopment project in Saline is getting a boost from the state. Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced Tuesday that the project at Murphy's Crossing will receive a $1.5 million revitalization and placemaking grant. State officials say the work will transform a historic three-story building and an adjacent parcel into a mixed-use development with four-story residential apartments, commercial space, and a new public green space. The state says the project is expected to generate nearly $7.5 million in total capital investment. The city of Saline has also committed $500,000 toward the public outdoor space, which is planned to include seating, lighting, trees, and other public amenities. City Manager Dan Swallow says the project will improve the downtown experience for both residents and visitors. Swallow says the Up House Square project will create what he called a dynamic space for events, gatherings, or simply a place to relax, saying, quote, "It is an outstanding example of a public-private partnership where the city is matching an investment by Praxis Properties to complete a long-envisioned project that we couldn't have accomplished alone." End quote. Officials say the Saline project was one of two statewide redevelopment efforts announced Tuesday under the RAP program. Jackson County's Free Museum Day is returning for its 9th year, offering residents a chance to explore local history at no cost. 15 museums across the county will open their doors for free Saturday, May 9th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., offering self-guided tours, historic demonstrations, kid-friendly activities, and more. Organizers say the event gives visitors a rare chance to explore sites that are often only open for special events or private tours. New this year, the first 50 visitors at each location will receive a free location-specific sticker, and each site will also host its own prize drawing. Two new locations are joining the lineup, including the Sparks Museum at the Cascades and the Jackson Train Station, which is featuring an America 250 exhibit. The event is organized by Experience Jackson, with more details available at experiencejackson.com. A free educational trip is giving Lenawee County residents a chance to explore local conservation efforts and learn how to become tree stewards. The Stair District Library is hosting a tree talk and tour at Hidden Lake Gardens on Saturday, April 25th, running from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. The trip includes a chartered bus ride, admission, and lunch, along with expert-led discussions on the Morenci Tree Steward program. Participants will hear from ISA board-certified master arborist Steve Lane and Hidden Lake Gardens director Paul Pfeiffer, with additional highlights including a guided tour of the Skywalk and conservatory. The program is geared towards adults, though children over 10 may attend with an adult present. Registration is required by April 22nd at 2 p.m. or until spots are filled. To sign up, call 517-458-6510 or email stairstaff@gmail.com. Officials say the program is supported through federal and state forestry partnerships aimed at strengthening local conservation efforts. A proposed rule from the U.S. Department of Labor could soon expand what Americans can invest in through their retirement plans. The Labor Department announced Monday it is considering changes that would make it easier for 401k plans to include alternative assets like private equity, real estate, and cryptocurrency. Officials say the proposal would not require employers to offer those options, but would give plan managers more flexibility and legal clarity when deciding whether to include them. Proponents suggest the move could offer workers a wide variety of investments and potentially higher returns. Conversely, opponents caution that these assets may involve greater risk, higher fees, and more complexity than standard retirement options such as index funds. Michigan Congressman Tim Walberg praised the move, saying it would help modernize retirement planning and give workers more tools to grow their savings. Walberg said in a press release statement, quote, "Workers should be able to retire with sustainable and comfortable life savings, not endless worry and instability. I applaud the Trump administration for modernizing retirement plans to reflect the wider range of ways Americans can invest and grow their savings." End quote. Gardeners in Lenawee County got a hands-on lesson in sustainability Tuesday night at the Lenawee District Library in Adrian. The program, Seed Saving 101, was led by Michigan-based author and educator Bevan Cohen and focused on how to collect, process, and store seeds from flowers, vegetables, and herbs for future growing seasons. I went down here to the Lenawee District Library, where attendees learned how to take what they grow this season and turn it into next year's garden. The hour-long program walked participants through multiple seed-saving techniques using demonstrations, discussion, and lecture designed especially for beginners looking to become more self-sufficient in their gardening.
The biggest mistake that new seed savers make is trying to do too many things at one time. You know, we get so excited in the garden, we want to save all the seeds, we want to do all the things, and if you take on too much, you could get overwhelmed, you might get frustrated, so I always recommend just pick a couple things, whatever you really like to grow or eat, one or two varieties, practice saving those seeds first. Once you get good at it, then you can kind of expand and move into new things, but just start small and build up from there.
Cohen, who runs Small House Farm in Michigan, regularly teaches workshops on seed saving and sustainable growing practices across the state.
One of the easiest things that we can do is flower seeds. Flower seeds are so easy. After the flower, the petals will fade and they'll die back and everything will start to turn brown. You can usually bust that flower head apart, find some seeds in there. Real easy.
The goal of the program is to give attendees practical tools they can use immediately while also helping them better understand how to preserve and reuse their harvest year after year.
It's very realistic. I mean, these seeds want to grow. That's how nature works, right? So the seeds that you gather, for the most part, are going to do relatively well for you. What's cool about plants and the seeds that they produce is that plants really hedge their bet. They produce a lot of seeds. So when you start to save some seeds, you're going to get quite a bit back. And out of all those seeds that you gather, there's probably going to be some good ones in there.
Organizers say programs like this are meant to make gardening more accessible while encouraging people to think long-term about how they grow their own food.
I think that saving seeds is more important now because it helps us build resilient food systems. When we save seeds from our gardens, they've adapted to growing in our gardens. So for example, the seeds that you might save from your garden are going to grow better for you in your garden than any seeds you'll ever buy. So we're all learning how to garden, and gardening can be challenging. So saving seeds and having seeds designed to thrive in our garden, that's a real sweet shortcut that's going to help lead to success for us in the long run.
Beyond the how-to, the program also connects seed saving to broader ideas around gardening, independence, and long-term planning.
People have been saving seeds for 10,000 years, since the dawn of agriculture. Literally anybody can do it. Very, very simple thing to do, and it's fun. It's rewarding, you know, and if you're out there in the garden having fun, oh man, you're going to want to get back out there.
Organizers say interest in programs like this continues to grow as more people look for ways to take a more active role in how they produce their own food.
I just want people to get out there and try to grow something new. You know, find something, like I said, something that you like to eat, whether it's tomatoes or beans or peppers, flowers, herbs, it doesn't matter what it is. Get out there, grow something, harvest it, take it to the kitchen, eat it, enjoy it. There's nothing better in this world than like a homegrown tomato. That's number one.
Lenawee County is considering a new contract that would place a full-time sheriff's deputy inside Madison Schools for the upcoming school year. The request comes from the sheriff's office and would continue an existing school resource officer program through the 2026-2027 academic year. Under the agreement, the deputy would be assigned directly to the district for about 1,560 hours annually, focused on school safety, criminal investigation, and acting as a liaison between the school and law enforcement.
So we've established a pretty good relationship with Madison Schools. Our school resource officer there has been ingrained with the students, is there to help them feel safe on school property. But he also helps the administration with a lot of other things that are going on. So we started this back several years ago when there was a big push for more school resource officers. They reached out to us, asked us what we could provide. We had the ability to provide a deputy there. Our deputy that is there right now, he started that. He was actually retired from Adrian Police Department as he was a school resource officer there for a number of years. So we hired him as a deputy, and he brought the school resource officer to Madison Schools. Has helped build that program. So it's more just building that relationship between the law enforcement and children, communities, and the schools. We want to be an integral part of the safety, but we also want to eliminate some of that being scared of police officers. So our school resource officer there will go and read to students. He helps with the safety and security plans, helps with the lockdown drills, fire drills, helps plan a lot of the emergency stuff there. So now they have a resident expert on site when all the stuff goes on.
The contract outlines that the deputy would not handle school discipline, but instead focuses strictly on law enforcement responsibilities inside the district. Madison Schools would pay the county just over $55 per hour for regular time, with higher rates for overtime, along with additional costs for vehicles and fuel.
I don't know that there's any metrics on paper per se. A lot of that is when you walk through the school, when you go and you actually physically see it, you see the kids walk up and give that officer a high five. You talk to other community members and go, oh my God, I love Officer Bird, Officer Birdwell, Deputy Birdwell, he's our school resource officer. It's that, those are the kind of metrics we use. You can't really, we don't want to measure that based off of, okay, how many citations has he handled, how many arrests of juveniles, but that's not important in that environment, is what's the community relationship. And so we meet with the superintendent, we meet with school staff, but it's more listening to the community when we go and talk to them, and we get a lot of positives. If you were to walk down the hallway when the classes are getting out, they walk up, they give them high fives, they how are you doing today? It's a really good relationship that they have. So that's how we measure that.
The agreement would run from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027, pending approval by the Criminal Justice Committee and the full Board of Commissioners. For now, the proposal moves forward as part of the committee's agenda, with final approval still to come.
Several hundred Lenawee County residents showed up in Adrian today for the third No Kings protest, including a congressional candidate. Adrian's No Kings protest was once again held in Comstock Park to demonstrate against the actions of President Donald Trump and his administration. In addition to the individual protesters, several local organizations set up at the park, including Lenawee Indivisible, the Lenawee County NAACP, and Hope in Action. Also present was Christian Vukasovich, who is running as a Democrat to represent Michigan's 5th congressional district, which includes Lenawee County.
We're running on putting more money in your pocket by making sure we're supporting good-paying jobs, promoting the idea of federal jobs work program to put people to work with union jobs, making sure that we're fully supporting our programs such as Medicaid and Medicare that the people of Michigan rely on, making sure that people can afford housing, child care, and health care, and pushing for universal health care because everyone should have a right to be healthy and to live regardless of their income. And oversight and accountability so that our constitutional rights are safeguarded and not just protected but expanded, so that strengthened, so that the guardrails on our democracy, on our human rights, on our constitutional rights cannot be removed by just one administration that decides it doesn't care about the Constitution.
If Vukasovich wins the Democratic primary, which will be held on August 4th of this year, he will face incumbent Republican Tim Walberg in the general election on November 5th. I'm Dallas Behringer for 103.9 WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Lenawee County is preparing to send just under $60,000 to repair padded cells at the county jail, but there's only one company available to do the work. The request comes from the Physical Resources Committee, where officials are being asked to approve about $59,444,000 for repairs, including a contingency. The work would be handled by Marathon Engineering, the same company that installed the original padding. The project would cover 2 padded cells, including removal of existing material and installation of new safety padding on the walls, doors, and floors. Officials say only a limited number of companies nationwide are licensed to perform this type of specialized safety padding work, which is why only one bid was received. The quote for the project comes in at $54,444, with additional funds set aside in case costs increase.
This again is part of your 2026 capital plan. $60,000 was budgeted for these repairs. There are only a few companies that are able to facilitate this kind of work, so you have only one bid before you. But it is to accept the Marathon Engineering proposal of $54,444 with repairs and a contingency of $5,000 for a total project cost of $59,444.
While the meeting did not include the detail of the exact condition of the current cells, the project is included in the county's 2026 capital improvement plan, indicating it has been identified as a priority for repair or replacement. The work would also include removing existing padding and reinstalling new material designed for inmate safety and durability. And that'll wrap it up for us this week in Lenawee. I'm Brian Vish for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.